Okay, in this video we will continue to learn Python, and I'm start with the basics of the Python code. So basically, for the most of the programming languages, the execution of the code goes from the top to bottom. And now if you installed PyCharm and using it, you are able to actually debug the code and see how it's been executed. So let's try to update the code a bit so there are a little more lines to actually execute and see how it's been interpreted by Python. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a breakpoint, so something that where execution stops, and I can go from there and execute lines one by one. So I'm gonna do run. I've already executed this file, but I can do that again. But instead of just executing run, I'll choose debug main. And when I start debugging, it will stop at the very first breakpoint or exception or something else, but in case a breakpoint. And this line is highlighted in blue. You can see that the execution stopped here. I will switch to a console at the bottom. Now you can see that what command has been executed, some additional debug information connected to a debugger, but nothing else, because nothing else happened in the Python code. And now I'm going to do a step over, meaning execute the current line and move to the next one. So as I said, it goes by default, it goes from top to bottom, but there are exceptions, like this Python code structure might tell you to go inside the other part of code, or execute the code depending on the condition, or get back and repeat the execution of some code, and so on and so on. We'll get back to that, but so far only the very basic things. So I did a debug, but I also could have pressed clicked the button here, and it stopped on a breakpoint and on the first line, which hasn't been executed yet. I do a step over. So this line has been executed. You can see that PyCharm shows that variable greeting here is set to hello, comma, space. Now, this one line is to be executed, which I'm doing right now. Nothing has been in the output because we haven't printed anything yet. But when we actually execute the line print, we print expression, which is a combination of one variable plus the second. Basically, we take the values pointed by variables, they have been added and passed to print, and see hello the X-study student. Now we execute this line, we execute this line, and interpreter finished processing the code. There is nothing else there, and it printed something again. Now we changed the variable d1, which is pointing to another string, some other student, and when we try to print that, we get a different message. We get a different string, hello, some other student. So this is a very simple code where we define two variables, greet and d1. Now we use it as an expression, one plus the other, and pass it to a function print. Then we tell the variable to point to another string, some other student, and now we get a kind of different result.